Hey, welcome to TCNJ Tonight. I'm Joe Adams. We got a great show tonight for you. Our first guest, Sean Gates. Sean, thanks for coming on.
Joe, thanks for having me.
So, you're here to talk to us about InfiMakers. So,
That's right.
What is InfiMakers? Tell us a little bit about it.
InfiMakers is a contest hosted by the Infosys Foundation, and what they're looking for are creative young minds that have brilliant ideas, and what they want to do is they try to harbor those ideas and grow them and reward people for having them.
Great. So, what kinds of ideas are coming in through this competition? Who are these creative geniuses?
They come from all over the country. They're centered in studies of like environmental sustainability or health or for education, and the ideas are coming from all sorts of ages and people.
So can you give us a little example of what these products are that the contestants are submitting?
Yeah, one of them is something called the Argos Smart Boot. It's a new step-by-step tracker to track firefighters when they're in a burning building, and it's some pretty cool like in-house GPS technology that they're using.
Wow, so these are really big ideas.
Yeah, there are some pretty crazy ideas this year.
And I understand it's a relatively large competition, right?
This is their third year, so it's their largest so far. The first two, it's been pretty tiny, but this year they've certainly grown.
How many contestants?
A couple thousand.
A couple thousand.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so they've narrowed that down a little bit so far?
Yeah, there are now 52 finalists left.
And you're one of those 52 finalists.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what got you to this final 52? What was your product?
My product is called Anywhere. It's a combination of fabric and mylar, which is used to create a wind, cold, and water-resistant jacket.
Okay, for stupid people like me, can you put that in layman's terms? What does it do?
It has a highly reflective material on the outside and on the inside to keep water and cold out and keep heat in.
Water and cold out and keep heat in.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, so who are you targeting with this product? Who are you trying to kind of sell to?
Initially, it was for people who have no shelter. So if you're stuck on the streets, it has zippers inside the jacket so you can add more of your own insulation as it gets colder, whether that's newspaper or cardboard. But as time goes on, it could also be marketed towards skiers or backpackers because it's lightweight materials, or anyone who just wants a cheap and reliable jacket.
That sounds like a great thing. So you're trying to make this kind of an affordable product that anyone can buy to help better society.
Yeah, affordability is one of my main concerns.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of price are we looking at for this product?
There's not really a price range yet, but it wouldn't be terribly expensive because Mylar, you can get a full-size emergency blanket for a couple bucks. So you could get Mylar pretty cheap, as well as normal fabrics for clothing.
That sounds pretty great. That sounds awesome. So how do you feel about your chances? When's the competition?
The competition voting ends on April 24th. From then, I'm not sure how much time it is until the judges make a final decision, but I have almost a 50% chance of winning.
A 50% chance? How do you get that?
They take 25 winners, and with
Oh,
52 finalists, almost half of the people are going to win.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So that sounds good. Well,
I have my fingers crossed, but there's a lot of great ideas out there, so I'm not betting on anything.
sounds like it. I bet on you, Sean.
Oh, thanks.
Well, that sounds like a great product. We wish you the best of luck. And thank you for coming on and telling us all about your product. I hope it gets out there more, and I hope it kind of starts to take off.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks, Sean. We'll be right back right after this. Hey, we're back. We're back with our next guest, John Mann.
Hi.
John, thanks for coming on. You're here to talk to us about your new company, Gizwarp Media.
Yeah, so Gizwarp Media is basically a multimedia platform that me and a few friends created. It's essentially just a network that allows urban artists to get their stuff out there and allows them to network with other urban artists in their area.
That sounds great. I think we have a clip of a little bit of what Gizwarp does, so we'll take a look at that right now. Wow, I love that. So, it's a multimedia company, and you're trying to represent some artists, right?
Mhm.
So, what kind of artists are you trying to introduce to your company?
Well, when we started, we basically wanted to definitely start with music. Like music, everybody has their hands in music nowadays. So as of right now, we work with rappers, we work with people who produce music. We also don't shy from visual artists as well. So we have a lot of like graffiti artists, tattoo artists. We have fine art artists who do paintings and stuff. We kind of like mix them everywhere.
So, you have kind of like a real broad spectrum right now.
Yeah.
But it started out in music?
Yeah.
So, what were kind of the first clients you had on? Like, what were they doing?
Well,
Mostly rap, I guess?
yeah, basically. Our first two clients, as you saw in the video clip, are a friend of mine, Portia. She's a poet, and another a friend of mine, Dapo. He does music. He plays just about every instrument. He also sings, and he can rap a little bit.
That's awesome.
And we also have a few other artists or creatives, I will say. We have someone who's coming from his own YouTube channel. He works with sneakers and stuff, and he designs sneakers. We have another one who does her own panels and stuff with underground rappers, to talk about the state of hip hop. It's just all about, being creative, honestly.
Yeah, it seems like a great platform for these artists. So,
Yeah.
how did that idea come about? How was Gizwarp born as a company?
Well, my dad has always been pretty deep into music. He came from the underground rap scene.
Really?
Yeah, and
So you had an upbringing in music.
yeah, I was on some of his like older tracks and stuff, and it always created an interest in that type of scene for me. The underground rap scene, the underground music scene, getting to know artists who don't really do it for the money, they just do it because they love it.
So that helped kind of jumpstart your passion in music.
Yeah.
And are you you're a musician yourself?
No.
A little bit?
I'm a poet. I can write a few poems for you, but I'm not really
A poet?
gifted in music.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But you kind of surrounded yourself with all these different kinds of artists, and that gave inspiration for Gizwarp.
Yeah, I love being around artists. There's just a certain kind of atmosphere that you get when you're around a whole bunch of like artistic people, and that atmosphere has always been very comforting to me.
Yeah. So you started out how long ago?
The idea started about 2 years ago. Just me and a few of our friends. We were just having one of those chill nights, and we were just talking about being able to kind of create just a TV show and where we can talk to different creatives and just build a network for each other. And it kind of just spiraled out into this what we have today, this amazing upcoming business that hopefully jumpstarts.
That sounds great, and I think it's a really important thing because now you're hearing all about these new artists, and there's so many people trying to break into that industry, and you're giving these people a platform to get their voices heard. And I think that helps a lot with new and upcoming artists since it is such a dense field right now.
Definitely.
And how's your company grown since?
Well, we just dropped our first few promos, our official promos this weekend, and we got a lot of great feedback. A lot of young artists from different colleges have been reaching out to us since we dropped it. And I think it's a really exciting time. We didn't expect the feedback that we got. We expected, like maybe 10 views, a friend say, oh, this looks cool. But like we actually got a lot of interesting feedback, and we're excited to see where this goes.
Well, that sounds awesome. I'm really glad the company is growing so fast, and it sounds like you guys are doing great. So thanks for coming on. It's John Mann with Gizwarp Media. Hey, welcome back. We're here with Rachel Smith, and you're here to talk to us about WIL. That's Women Learning and Leadership, right?
Yes.
I like the self-promotion, by the way.
Thank
I like the
you.
t-shirt.
Yeah, I came dressed to impress.
Yeah.
I am the programming chair of the Women in Learning and Leadership program at TCNJ. It's part academics. You need a minor in Women and Gender Studies, but it's also part club, so you have a lot of events, and I'm in charge of the campus-wide events.
That's great.
Yeah.
So I think we have a clip to show a little bit of what WIL does on campus.
About the issues that are of concern to us, and if we don't raise our voices and if we don't stand, then the message is not heard. As a majority We have our own desks in 2 different places, and it's just us in that room. So it's only 52 different voices when the state of New Jersey has a population of 9 million people.
So when we tell stories as we advocate on different issues, we want to really appeal to 2 different sides. We want to appeal to the head, which is your logic, your analysis, your statistics, your thoughtful arguments. But we also want to appeal to the heart, which is telling these stories that bring forth emotion and make people really identify what they value. Because a lot of times you might not realize what you strongly value until you hear a story that brings out those emotions. You value safety, you value security, you value access. We want to make sure that politicians are not involved in that decision, right? Politicians are making decisions about when we go to the dentist, when we go get our physicals. They should be making decisions that are reproductive.
Elected official and letting them know what you want, something that you want them to do with their power, something you want them to support as a constituent. Lobbying, contacting your legislator and asking them to support something. Writing letters and writing postcards, that's also lobbying. You can visit their local office. We had groups that around Valentine's Day weekend dropped off Valentines at their local representatives. That's lobbying.
Wow, that looks great. I really like this organization because I feel like you guys are really spearheading the cause of just women's issues on college campuses, right?
That clip is from an event we co-sponsored at Rutgers. It's the second Planned Parenthood Reproductive Health Summit. It was student activist training. So basically where Wool comes into it is that we do a lot of events on campus. We try and promote awareness through our organization, but we also want to reflect and kind of branch off campus. That was interesting because we got to meet a few other students from different schools and really not just talk about issues, but take action for the things that we care about.
Yeah, you guys have a very hands-on approach in women's issues, and I think it's interesting that you guys are a college organization mostly, right? Mm-hmm. But you're branching out. You're trying to get your message nationwide.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of issues that need attention, and especially issues with funding for family planning. Like, these are issues that affect women regardless of political positions, because it's one of the arguments one of the speakers made was that politicians don't tell us when we get to go to the dentist, so they shouldn't tell us when we can go get cancer screenings.
Yeah.
And it's nice to be part of an organization that we have opportunities to take action.
I think that's nice, and it's definitely important on college campuses now. And I understand you guys have an event coming up. Is that right?
Yes, we have 2 events in April. The first is Luna Fest on April 7th, and it's a film festival by, for, and about women. That all the proceeds go towards the NJ Coalition Against Sexual Assault and the Breast Cancer Fund. So we like being able to raise money for that. And then our other event is Take Back the Night, which is for April, which is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. And that's kind of to empower our campus community and create an environment where survivors feel comfortable talking about issues.
That's great. I think it's really much needed right now. I'm really glad you guys are doing this. It sounds like a great organization. So, Rachel Smith, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
You're a great guest. Well, that's all we have for tonight. We will come back tomorrow night with another great show. We hope you'll join us.